Welcome to Big Boss Builder. I hope you enjoy this content. It's my passion to bring to you years worth of knowledge in the entrepreneurial game. If you're loving this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and please watch this video all the way through to the end. Hope you enjoyed this video. Today's discussion is about a decision. Do you want to be profitable or do you want to be big? The amount of people have come to me and said to me, I want to have the biggest business there is. I want to make hundreds of millions of dollars. Unfortunately, those two don't generally go together at the starting point. Most companies that are large or grow quite large suffer with cash flow at the beginning. Smaller companies actually make more profit in the early days. This is a very serious question that people forget to ask themselves before starting a business, because generally things like ego and visions of grandeur kick in. We have this vision of what our legacy looks like and how much we're worth. We have to take it back and understand, what are we doing this for? Some people say to me, I want to have a business so I can have a work-life balance. Again, these things don't generally exist at the starting piece, but if you are looking to have that into the future, then you have to understand that those visions of having the biggest business often conflict with the idea of a work-life balance. The bigger the business, the bigger the headache. The smaller the business, the greater the cash flow, but the more work you have to do. You have to make this decision from the start, because every decision you make moving forward impacts the direction of the business in either two directions. Do I want to work more for greater cash flow, have a stabilized income, or do I want to build something big to eventually trade off or sell? The reality is, most of these big businesses make their money to the entrepreneur when you sell them. Also, get rid of the concept of intergenerational business transference. Generally speaking, your kids don't want to take over your business. Generally speaking, your business may not be suited for your kids' ability and personalities. The reality is, being a business owner is not for everyone. I wouldn't wish it on my greatest enemy if they didn't have a passion for what they did, because you're being condemned to a lifetime of stress and difficulty, and people have got all eyes on you constantly. For some people, they thrive. Some people, they fold. So before you start planning out your business, start planning out your next steps, you have to make a decision today and think of it realistically based on where you want to be in 5 to 10 years' time, because you can't change your mind up later. If you elect to have a big business, then you elect to have substantial responsibilities. You can't wind it down later. People's jobs depend on you. People's lives depend on you. This is not a decision you should take lightly. Before you start from day one, you have to have a vision of where it wants to be, and it has to correlate to where you want to be. Think of it in great detail before you take that next step, before you hire your first staff member, before you hire your 30th staff member. This decision dictates where you want to go. It's not what you think. People believe by having more staff, you work less. If you have 30 staff, cash flow is low, guess who gets paid less that week or doesn't get paid at all that week? If someone messes up with the 30 or 40 staff that you don't even know their names, guess who's responsible? I once lost a whole lot of money because somebody in my organization did something totally stupid. I had a $600,000 fine I had to come up with, and I didn't know the person's name. The reality is, I thought at the time, young Pete thought at the time, his job wasn't relevant to have a great impact on my business. What it turned out, the job didn't matter. The fact he was in my organization meant that he knew everything about what was going on and had the capacity to damage us in a way that benefited him. That was a valuable lesson I learned, but this would not have been an issue with a smaller business. Because at the end of the day, in a smaller business, your staff are your family, your clients are like family. In a bigger business, it's all about scalability. It's all about processes, it's all about systems, because it's impossible to know everyone's name and what they do in your organization. So make this decision and don't make it lightly. Think long and hard, take ego out of the equation. Don't base on how much money you feel you need. $100 million is a stupid amount of money you'll never spend. You have a house, you have a car. After that, what are you going to spend it on? I challenge you to make a list of 50 things. I guarantee you'll max out at 10. The end figure is an ego figure if you don't have an allocated amount towards it. You have to know why you do what you do. And it has to relate to your goals, and your goals coincide whether you want the business to be large or do you want it to be profitable. Thank you so much. Look forward to sharing more insights next week.